Hello, welcome back. I got some enchantment and thaumaturgy research done. Thaumaturgy we're just going to go up mostly for site searching spells, to be honest. Enchantment 5 though, big one. My god can do Eyes of God with a coin if we can forge that at some point, so that's nice. I guess we can also do like Dispel and stuff too. Our Earth Mages can do the big Gift of Giant Strength. And also Weapons of Sharpness, which is probably going to come in handy at some point as well. And our Fire Mages can do some Flaming Arrows. So all in all, not too bad actually. Might be some other good stuff in here we can use at some point as well, but for now, that's that. We'll try and get Thaumaturgy, Conjuration and Construction next. Some battles then. Battle in Lost Lands. Mercenaries did not walk into our dominion, unfortunately. Also a battle in Dragon Point. But not much to see here either. And Battle of the Fortress in Ammon Forest. Also not a great deal here. Pretty empty. We crack this door open pretty fast though. There are some dudes who can do Gifts from Heaven though, so... Oh, well, one dude maybe. Hits in the gate though, and mostly kills the PD, to be honest. Next one isn't much better. Barbarian's trying to escape. But I think that's it for the mage. Yeah, so all in all, not too bad. So there's Ammon Forest. Lost 7 barbs and 2 black pipe. Killed a few things and picked up another fort and burned down a temple too, which is nice. I'll look at the map now. So Dragon Point is here, we moved into. And the mercenaries went to Lost Lands. Fair enough. I guess trying to stop me getting back to Tianqi. It looks like the main stack didn't attack us either. It looks like he's trying to put stuff around Tianqi to try and get it back, so okay. Big stack coming south as well. Well, from the south. So yeah. Events then, Dragon Point, Bad Omens, Crops have failed, Death and Unrest. Then some Troublemakers were rooted out, so we lost some Unrest. And then found some Nature Gems in Druidland. Lost a Scout in... Yeah, New Spring has an awful lot of PD. A lot of these places have a lot of PD, right? 155 units worth of PD. The Imperial City Guards, of course, are no joke with those big 22 damage glaives. And other than that, it's Under Siege in Forest of Gun, but there's nothing here. A single Imperial City Guard. So that's that. And here's the map now. So, a few more reinforcements are heading out from the cap this turn. A bunch more Guardians are on the way. And replace whatever losses we sustain to the next round of Gifts from Heaven. My god is going to Cloud Trapeze over to Bushford. Just to be in the area, really. Might push some more Dominion over here. My Prophet is, I think, close by now. Currently in Bushford, moving to Moravia, so I'll have our Prophet start preaching in Tianqi, probably. Or nearby. And then our god will be here, pushing some Dominion too. Meanwhile, I'm going to split up our forces a little bit. I don't imagine he's going to crack open Tianqi instantly. It's a 600 wall. So I'd be shocked. So I think we have a turn or two before we actually have to take a fight on Tianqi. But I would rather have it outside than inside. So first up, main force is going to go to Lost Lands. The stuff in Tianqi currently is just going to move to Gamer. So there's a few mages we've recruited, plus some knights. They can head to Gamer. A few spur things in Ammon can go to Lish. A few random infantry, some archers. So we'll pick up those provinces, we'll break siege in Forest of Gun, and yeah, the big stack moves into Lost Lands. Still looks pretty similar to always, but there are a bunch of longbowmen up here now around the Fire Mage. He's got some Fire Gems, and he's going to do Flaming Arrows. So we've got that in the script now too. Over here, our stuff that was following Marignon is going to try and take New Coast now too. plus some extra units from Bushford. We do know there's going to be tons of PD here, maybe some patrolling as well. But we've got, you know, quite a few Guardians, quite a few longbows. We can put up flaming arrows with an F1 if we use an extra gem to cast Phoenix Power and then an extra gem to cast flaming arrows. It's kind of rough though. But we can throw that into the mix. So quite a few movements while Tenchi probably just moves everything onto his cap. And then we'll see how much wall damage he does, and that'll let us know how long we have to, well, to act. And in the meantime, we'll try and take some more bits of territory, I think. See what happens. Besides that, the fort in Iron Range is upgraded next month, so I'll try and make sure we've got enough gold to keep upgrading that. Try and get this as many levels as possible so that we can get more of these guys. We don't have a single Lore Master yet, but I only started them recently. And I think that's it, really. There might be a little bit of forging. I think I'm making, yeah, fires and jars at the moment. Since, it'd be nice if these F1s didn't have to carry around a bunch of fire gems in order to put up flaming arrows. So, a bunch of fires and jars would be nice. This guy over here at least is already F2, so he just needs... I guess he'd still be better with a fire and a jar, right? Also given a lot of these guys earth gems so that they can do the earth gem spells eventually. Oh, in fact, these guys have it in the script, so... Yeah, in fact, I think all the ones who have gems are doing giant strength warriors at some point. Might as well. And that's how things look currently. I think that's everything though. We'll just see how much wall damage he does to Chen-Chi next turn. I haven't done a very good job sitting on his forts, but unfortunately they all have so much PD that it feels like unless I can dedicate like a giant stack to doing it, it's I can't just throw like a few units at these forts and hope it sticks, you know. Anyway, that's turn 28. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. A bit more thaumaturgy research done. Is there any interesting earth stuff here? No. Well, Nomala's at 4. What is tempering the will? The forces of Ulm have their strength of mind enhanced by magic. Soldiers and beings with high magic resistance are rarely affected by this spell. No gems, 20 fatigue cost, affects the entire battlefield. Is this magic resistance if you fail a magic resistance check? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that existed. Okay. Anyway, it's conjuration and construction first. Maybe we'll go back for that stuff. God moved over to, I don't know, towards Tianchi. And Teotl found an endless forest. Pretty good. He's only an N1 mage and he found that. It gives you a nature gem and an astral pearl, so pretty good. We took a bunch of provinces. We also had Tianchi put under siege. This is extremely disturbing. He has way more mages than he should really have. But yeah, it's been impossible to put his forts under siege. So brace yourselves for these meteors. Pretty scary. Fortunately kills a bunch of his stuff there at the end. So he kills 24 of his own units doing that. But yeah, there's 22 Imperial Geomancers. That does not look good for us at all. Otherwise though, we moved into Lish with no problems. New Coast, is that the fort? Yeah, this is the fort, which, yeah, it has 10 billion points of PD and a patrolling communion, so... You get some flaming arrows up, that's nice. Of course, the meteors decide to prioritize the archers and kill a square of mages again instantly, because it loves doing that. Okay, killing his PD now though, that's good. Could be better. But we do at least get on New Coast. So yeah, 175 units worth of PD. 65 actual units. Killed most of those. Killed 3 of the mages too, which is nice. That does mean there's still 4 in the fort potentially. Yeah, lost one of our master smiths as well doing that. But there we go. Came in, we took with no problems. Lost lands is our big stack, no problems there. Forest of Gone, we broke siege. So suddenly a bit more blue over here, which is good. Blue and New Coast for now too. Dragon Point, Famine, New Coast, some fire gems. We upgraded the fort in Iron Range, so that's getting upgraded to a castle now. Tianqi is under siege. New Coast is unharmed. Unfortunately, a lot of these units ended up in the garrison, so nothing was sieging, so I don't know how much damage we were doing. Probably like 2. But we have a bunch of retreaters that are going to move back over now, so that should be okay, hopefully. Might need some more infantry over here, but I'm not sure. It's still potentially 4 mages in this fort, which is going to be difficult to storm into. But we'll sit on it anyway, so we can't recruit here anymore. And starving in Lost Lands, unfortunately. Yeah, we used 300 supplies. This has 261. There's a small amount of starvation. That's it for messages, though. So first thing to check, most importantly, how much damage does he do to Tianqi with this big stack? Looks like it's less than half. So that's good. That gives us 2 more turns to move around. So if we move from here to here, get our army fed, bring over some reinforcements, it will hopefully be down to 80 wall next turn. And then, yeah, we'll still have time to bring over these reinforcements that are going to take 2 turns to get here. So we've got plenty of time to get our stuff over here. The big issue is, that's a lot of gifts from heaven. What we really need is some stuff that can... Because all of this stuff is holding, except the barbs who are uncontrollable. But it all just sits here. So what we need is need a bunch of fast stuff that can just zip over right up against his line before the meteors start falling, so that hopefully they land on him. Which is not easy to do at short notice. So 2 things I can do. First is hope that these guys survive, who have some knights. And I've started trying to recruit knights in places. So we'll start moving knights over to Moravia, so that we at least have, you know, some of those guys that can zip across the battlefield immediately and get up in Tianqi's face. The other thing I'm going to start doing is Call of the Winds. So I'm casting that on Forest of Gone first, because if we take that this turn, I don't think he'll be able to see that unless he has scouts, which he might. But we'll put a bunch of birds in this fort, and potentially we can do that again next turn. And then we can also cast birds directly on... Oh no, can we? Will they end up inside the fort, or will they attack the sieges? I'm actually not sure with something like Call of the Winds. Because teleport would end up inside the fort, right? That's a good... I'm not sure. I can't remember how that works. Now that I say it out loud, I think the birds might just end up inside the fort, which is useless. But what can you do? We'll at least have 2 casts of it here, and they can move on to Tianqi. And Blackhawks are useless, but if they just survive just for like, you know, just a second, they just need to fly over here and give these guys some targets, you know? So we'll build up some birds anyway, and I guess I'll just try casting it on Tianqi, see what happens, unless I get a more useful spell at some point. But we just need to build up as many knights and birds as possible to encourage the meteors to hit his side of the battlefield, I think. So in the meantime, we'll just keep an eye on how much damage he's doing to the walls, and then as soon as he actually breaks Tianqi open, we have to actually move into him. But that's the plan anyway. So I guess these guys might sit in Ammon. Or they might come and help out. I'm wondering if I should have this mage just sit around, because we got a guy who has nature and astral. Currently this N1 guy was walking around site searching, but I guess if an N1 S1 is walking around site searching instead, it's a bit more useful. I am going to start patrolling on this fort just in case he tries to put it under siege, so there's a few things here at the moment. And yeah, at the moment it's just kind of a wait and see situation. We'll build stuff up in Moravia. I need some way to... I would like to trigger a battle with this army next turn. With something that can just zip across, and... I wish I had more mages that could cast Call of the Winds, to be honest. I just need a shitload of birds. We'll do what we can anyway. New coast remains under siege. Armies building up in Moravia. Birds building up in Forest of Gun. Patrolling in Ammon Forest. Trying to get the knights around. Recruiting knights in these palisades. Tons of Guardian reinforcements almost here from the cap. Those are the main things anyway. You guys moving to Norville currently. They can also probably get to Moravia then. It looks weird, it's slightly faster to go from Norville through Sodov to Moravia than going Druidland to somewhere in the Moravia. Even though it looks like a detour. These areas are still heading towards Moravia too. And I think that's it really, there's not much else to say at this point. Castle getting upgraded. I'm forging a Dwarven Hammer. I think I gave out that jar we forged last turn, yeah. Aromatic Flames here is going to head over to New Coast and join these guys. It's a bit more efficient for him to... But yeah, he's also F2 as well, which is kind of crazy. But he came with F2 and now he's got a jar, so he can just always put up Flaming Arrows with no gem requirements, which is sick. So that's the... I think that's it though, to be honest. We just have to see how things look next turn. I am a bit scared of all those... How many mages do we have? 10, 11? He's got way more mages though. Not sure what else we can do though, to be honest. Oh well, I'm going to end turn. It's at 29. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.